Information tonight at 10. The conflict surrounding who will provide 5 area municipalities with fire and EMS services continues. WMTV's Shayna Najawan went to the town of Oakland this evening, and Shayna, a major decision was made during a board meeting this week.
That's right, Cameron. Residents in Oakland will now receive fire and EMS services from Jefferson, Fort Atkinson, and Lake Mills, not Cambridge Fire and EMS. But some residents tell me they're concerned about receiving critical care in a timely manner. They're also worried what the decision means for the Cambridge Volunteer Fire Department.
I know that Oakland has been put in a very difficult situation at no fault of their own.
Residents in the town of Oakland will now receive fire and EMS services from Jefferson, Fort Atkinson, and the town of Lake Mills.
This responsibility lies on the municipalities that refuse to come together.
The decision was made Tuesday. It comes after the town board decided to leave a 5-municipality pact. Some locals, such as Jana Evans, say it's because other municipalities in that agreement refused to converse.
There was a mediation that was scheduled on September 26th. The village of Rockdale, the town of Christiana, and the town of Lake Mills refused to even come to sit at the table.
They haven't been willing to hear or hear those complaints or move at all on repairing those problems. And that's why we're here. That's the whole reason this is happening.
The Cambridge Volunteer Fire Department currently serves many Oakland residents, and Assistant Chief Tom Frederick says they do it faster than anyone else could. But with Oakland leaving, their future is uncertain.
There will longer response times for them for EMS and fire calls.
And residents in the town might have to wait longer for emergency services.
I'm concerned for my mother. She's 86 years old. She lives on the other side of me, not too far, by the bowling alley. She'll get a response from Fort Atkinson. Now, if my mom's having a stroke, that is not going to help her.
The change will go into effect on January 1st, unless another solution is found.
People who have been paying attention that the ideal solution would be for all 5 municipalities to work out their differences and stay in the district together as they have for many, many years.
The village of Cambridge also left the 5-municipality pact involving Christiana, Rockdale, Lake Mills, and Oakland. Their future also uncertain. A special closed session was held this evening, and we'll continue to provide you with updates as we receive new information. Live in the newsroom, Shayna Najawan, WMTV 15 News.